Marriage changes everything. But what happens when those changes spark bitter courtroom battles? In today's first story, a father with primary custody of his two kids faces off against their mother, an exotic dancer earning six figures who refuses to provide financial support. The judge's decision leaves no room for debate.
Well, Your Honor, I've been with the defendant for about 10 years now.
Okay.
We had children probably around my years, about 19, 20.
Okay,
And,
how old are they?
They're 8 and 5.
All right.
And right now, I'm an artist, Your Honor. That's how I met her. She was stripping.
I'm an exotic dancer.
She was stripping, Your Honor.
I'm an exotic
And that's
dancer.
how I met her. They was playing me in the club.
Then, in our second case, a father's frustration after feeling sidelined post-childbirth leads to a child support battle. But with postpartum struggles, infidelity, and a surprising ruling, this one's not so.
What something is.
I want full custody and I want child support.
Okay. The child live with you?
It's kind of between right about now. But I think I could take care of him better since she can't keep a job.
I've been with the kid longer, so I mean, I'm not working right now, so I'm at home with the kid all the time.
So if she's not working, she behind bars.
Before we jump into these unbelievable clips, take a second to hit that subscribe button. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Mr. Williams describes his role as the primary caregiver for his two children over the past 3 years. While working as a barber, he has had to juggle raising his kids full-time, and now he's seeking support from his ex-partner, Ms. Jones, who only spends 2 days a week with them. He's clearly feeling overwhelmed by the responsibility.
Hey, Mr. Williams, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Well, Your Honor, I've been with the defendant for about 10 years now.
Okay.
We had children probably around my years, about 19, 20.
Okay,
And,
how old are they?
They're 8 and 5.
All right.
And right now, I'm an artist, Your Honor. That's how I met her. She was stripping.
I'm an exotic dancer.
She was stripping, Your Honor.
I'm an exotic
And that's
dancer.
how I met her. They was playing me in the club. Because I'm an artist, like I said, Your Honor.
Oh,
And
you
she's
were...
the one slowing me down with the children.
Okay.
And so, like I said, we've been together for about 10 years now. We got an 8 and a 5-year-old, and she's never there to take care of them.
I'm there for my
I can't
kids.
even do what I can.
Excuse me, ma'am. Let him speak, and then I can assure you I'll get over to you. And do me a favor, you're making me dizzy, rocking back and forth. Yeah, just, I know you're probably nervous. Just, you know, everybody nervous when they come to court.
Yes, ma'am.
And you probably nervous looking at me. So it's okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so children are 8 and 5.
Yes, ma'am.
She was working as an exotic dancer.
Yes.
You're an artist. You all live together.
We used to.
Yes.
All right, so hold on.
Sorry.
How long ago did you all stop living together?
We stopped living together about, I want to say, 3 years ago.
All right. And where do the children live currently?
With me.
And they've been living with you for the past 3 years?
They've been living with
okay.
me. She comes at 2 times of the week, take them to the park. She's taking them to get a kids meal, but I'm the one that's got to deal with the harassment because
I gotta do what I gotta do.
what?
Ma'am, what is it with today? Everybody want to interrupt each other.
I'm so sorry.
Don't be sorry, just don't do it. It's that simple.
I got you, Your Honor.
She's coming in with a kids meal, Your Honor, on Tuesday and Wednesday. I'm doing the bond for my daughter on Thursday.
Okay.
You know, and getting them ready for school on Friday. And so that's what the problem is. Like I said, we just can't even stay together no more. And that's why I brought her to the court.
Okay, so you're asking for child support, health insurance. What health insurance do you have for the children?
I don't have any health insurance right now, Your Honor.
Okay, so are they on Medicaid?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else you want me to know before I move over to Mom?
Well, the kids are getting harassed in school right now.
Why are they being harassed?
Because she's stripping, Your Honor, and everybody knows it.
Okay, we're going to use exotic dancer because that's what she said her profession
Thank
is.
you, Your Honor.
And I think out of respect, you should refer to it as what she calls it, okay? It's her career, it's what she does. So that's what we're going to refer to it as, okay?
Yes,
So
Mom.
the children are being made fun of at school because of what Mom does for a living.
Yes.
Okay, she was doing that when you met her, right?
Yes, she was. Like I said, they was playing me in the club. And she's slowing me down, Your Honor.
How's she slowing you down? What you mean by that?
She's slowing me down because she's not taking care of the kids. She's popping in and out.
But how does that slow you down exactly?
It's slowing me down because I had a career, Your Honor.
Oh,
and
I see what you're saying.
I love barbering.
Okay.
But they gonna learn how to barber with me because they up there with me all the time. I need some help. And that's why we're here, yes, ma'am.
Okay, and they go to school during the day, right?
Yes, ma'am.
But on the weekends, they're with you at the barbershop.
Right, she gets them on Tuesday and Wednesday when she's off, but that's not enough.
Just Tuesday and Wednesday?
Just Tuesday and Wednesday.
They don't spend a night or anything like that?
Kids Meal and Park.
Okay.
Kids Meal Park.
That's what you're gonna.
Excuse me. No, that's not what we're doing. You're not gonna interrupt anymore.
If I'm lying, let them know if I'm lying.
You're not gonna interrupt anymore. That's what we're not doing, okay?
I apologize. I'm so sorry, Your Honor.
Stop apologizing because you keep doing it. Okay. Just don't do it. Okay. All right. Now.
You know I'm telling the truth, Your Honor.
Is there anything else you want me to know about the facts of this case? Not necessarily what she thinks or anything like that, because that has nothing to do with what I have to do up here.
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so I can move over to her. Now it's your turn.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hi.
Yes, so I am here, not really sure why, because I take very good care of our children.
Well, you do know why. He just said he wants some help. You slowing him down. Mm-hmm. He can't cut hair the way that he needs to and make the money he needs to because the children are always with him.
I mean, they're not always with him. I do get them on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. On my off days, that's something we agreed to because I am bringing in.
Hold on. Let me just clear something up. Those are only days you get them, right?
Well, like full time. I see my kids all the time, but on full time, from sun up to sundown, they're with me on Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
How many days in a week?
There's 7.
All right, so you see them 2. So 5 is majority of the time that they're with dad. So.
Well, I go over there and I check on them.
Or am I missing some days?
No, Your Honor, you're not. But I go over there and I check on them. But they do stay overnight with him on those other 5 days. I have them on the days that I'm fully off, and I can tend to them and get them the meals that they like and take them to the park. But I have to make money.
So he was telling the truth.
Well, not fully the truth, because I mean, you know, he's acting like I'm not there for him. He's complaining now. He didn't have any complaints whenever we got together.
We just established you are not there. They're with him 5 days a week. Excuse me. Mr. Williams, I'm going to tell you the same thing I told her. No interruptions, okay?
Ms. Jones, who has a successful career as an exotic dancer, defends her position, stating that she still provides for her children when they are with her. But the judge quickly reminds her that 2 days a week is not enough to justify her lack of financial contributions. The courtroom tension rises as both sides struggle to define what adequate care really means.
No, you don't have to thank me because you've been doing it. So no, that's not what we're doing. It is not to taunt him. It is just to make sure I give him the same treatment that I gave you, okay? Now, he has not been dishonest thus far in what he said because you just confirmed it. Well, you get him on your off days, which is 2 days a week. The other 5 days, they are with him. You do Happy Meals and Park. He's taking them to school. He's feeding them. He's getting them dressed for school, getting them dressed for. Are they in any activities?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
After school, my younger daughter, she cheerleading.
But
okay, are you taking them to cheerleading?
I'm providing for them. Okay. He's not telling the financial part.
Let's talk about that then.
Yes.
How much money do you make?
I do very well.
That wasn't my question.
That's exactly what she told me.
Excuse me. I can't, write down very well on the child support order. I need to know how much you make in a dollar amount.
$180K a year.
$180K a year.
Yes.
How much of that $180,000 are you giving dad?
Well, not necessarily giving that, but on my children, because I don't give it directly to him. I take care of my children.
Wait a minute, hold on. The kids are 8 and 5.
Right.
So you got to give it to him. So what are you giving him to provide for the kids?
Well, I wasn't giving him anything to provide for the kids. When I check on my kids, I do for my kids, and I buy my kids
What
stuff.
does that mean?
That means like I provide things for them. I do when they're in my care, that's when I provide for them. But
2 days a week in your care, right?
Well, full time.
We've established that.
Yes.
So what do you do beyond that?
But as far, I can't imagine giving this man any amount of money that I work hard for, and he talking about this stripper, this and that. I'm an exotic dancer, but he didn't have that problem when we got together. And the years that we were together, he wasn't complaining then. But as regarding my children, I take very good care of them. I just can't imagine the hard work that I do. That's why my knee is messed up now, because I had an injury at work. And he knows that, and then he's begging for money. I take care of my children. My children have no wants.
He's not begging. He's not. He is not. He is not begging. He is telling you to do what you should do anyway as a parent.
But you're not, you're in private, Your Honor. He's trying to get back with me. He does
1 second. Hold on.
Like,
shh. It doesn't matter. That has no bearing on child support. What he says to you, what he says about you, doesn't make any never mind to me. What you say about her, what y'all's conversations are, that has no never mind, has nothing to do with child support.
Mr. Williams shares his frustration. He's doing everything, preparing meals, getting the kids ready for school, and dealing with the harassment they face at school because of their mother's profession. He is clearly trying his best to provide stability, but he's not getting the help he needs, and the stress is taking a toll.
right,
Okay, it's not a but. Let me ask you a question, because I don't want to derail this conversation in this case, because I have some more that I need to get to today. Now, if you're making $180,000 a year, why aren't these children on any type of health insurance?
Well, the profession that I have, you know, there's no insurance offered, and I mean.
Well, it doesn't have to be. You're considered a independent contractor, right?
Right.
That means you can get private health insurance.
Well,
Did you know that?
I'm not really sure how to go about doing that.
You can
but-
Google and say to the internet how to find private health insurance.
Right.
I'm trying to see
But
where
see,
she
but
get the
he has
180
his
from.
own barbershop, and through the barbershop, I figured he could, like, he's complaining about I don't spend time
I
enough
have
with
to
him.
start doing
He
that.
can figure
I
that
wouldn't
part
have been
out.
doing
Okay,
that.
hold on.
Because I can take my kids to the doctor, pay the copay out of cash, and be done. Like, insurance for what? I mean.
Well, child support for what? Because you're definitely getting ready to pay. How about
No,
that?
wait.
Yes, no,
But
it's
Your
not
Honor,
a waste.
he didn't
No,
tell
ma'am.
you-
No, ma'am. You came here to waste my time.
No.
You did come here to waste my time. You make $180,000 a year,
Mm-hmm.
and you have not been doing what you need to be doing for these children. You don't pay for cheerleading. You pay for Happy Meals, and
But
I can't even say
he's
you pay for
acting
the
like
park
he is
because
a-
the
Where
park
did he
is
come
free.
from?
Judge Vandeby steps in, reminding Ms. Jones that being a successful career woman doesn't exempt her from her responsibilities as a mother. The judge is clear. Providing financially for the children is not optional. Ms. Jones's high salary may be impressive, but it doesn't justify her absence in the children's lives.
Your Honor, I just want to say, and he's talking about my kids being teased at school and all of that. No, he's the one being teased. He's the one that is brainwashing them to believe this stuff and want to turn my kids against me because I don't want to be with him any longer. That's the ultimate problem. That's why we're here. Because before this, Mr. Williams didn't have any problems with me financially, taking care of my kids, providing.
Your Honor, this
Baby,
is
I'ma
exactly
support
why
you,
we're not
and
staying
you go
together.
do what you need to go do those 2 days a week. That was our agreement. Now you want to bash me and make it seem like I'm not there for our children?
2
How
days
dare
out of the
you?
week, Your Honor.
No, it's not 2 days.
2 days
It's
out
not
of the
two-
week, and
but
she
can you
yelling
tell-
full time.
Okay, but what about that day you had an appointment and I had to watch them?
What about the day you left the kids at the house to go out with your
I would
friends?
never. You know what? See, you always bringing up old stuff. You know, you always going. Your Honor, at the end of the day, I make very good money. I do very well, and he wasn't complaining then, and now he wants to complain now, and I just don't know what to tell him. You know. But our kids is not an issue. They love me dearly. Please tell Your Honor, please tell her that how much the
Your
kids
Honor, I don't
love
have to
me. They talk
brainwash
about
them.
me.
I don't have to
in a good
brainwash them.
way.
They already know.
No. They
'Cause they
talk
getting
about
it
me
in
in
school.
a good way. They love their mother dearly because I'm there for them. What memories are you making with them? Do they
Okay,
tell you
hold
how
on,
they
hold
act
on.
at the
Let me-
park?
hold on.
They love the park.
Here's the memory we're getting ready to make because I made my ruling. You have capped out, according to Texas guidelines, your gross is $9,200 a month. Child support is set at $2,300. You're going to do a reimbursement to Medicaid for $276, making your monthly Child support payment, $2,576.
That's how much you gotta pay.
No, that's how much you gotta pay.
After carefully listening to both sides, Judge Vandab delivers the ruling. Ms. Jones will pay $2,576 per month in child support. Additionally, she is ordered to reimburse Medicaid for the children's healthcare costs. The ruling emphasizes that both parents must equally contribute to the children's well-being, regardless of any personal grievances or past relationships.
Thank you, Your Honor.
The children live with him.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I don't see the celebration.
Thank you.
Wait a minute. What happened to the celebration? Because you're the one that's paying that $2,576. The children live with him. He should not pay you anything.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And I said I made my ruling, so I really don't have to hear anything further. Did you have any questions about that number?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. Did you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right, if there's nothing further, the both of you are dismissed.
The case begins with Mr. McIntosh straightforwardly stating his request for child support. However, as we dive deeper, the dynamics of their 6-year relationship and co-parenting struggles reveal a much more complicated situation.
Okay, Mr. McIntosh, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Well, I think she needs to pay child support.
Okay. Just straight like that?
Yeah, straight. I want to get straight to the point. I just want nothing to do with it. I just want child support.
All right. Do you really know her? You just said like you don't want nothing to do with it, like you just met her yesterday.
Well, I thought I did.
Okay, tell me about it.
Well, it started off like every other fairy tale, you know. Everything was hot, bad. Everything cooking good. Good loving. So we got a kid.
Okay.
We say, okay, so when the kid arrived, that kind of changed. You know, Daddy got put on the back burner. And, you know, sometimes I'm not understanding. I say, what happened to Dad? You know, you let the kid go to sleep or something. Don't just forget about me. So it was all about, you know, I got the baby. No, put the baby to bed.
Well, you wanted to tend to the baby, right?
Yeah, what else I'm gonna do?
Well, not that much. Don't just forget about me.
I mean, it's
You know,
forgot
you
about
don't help
Daddy.
around the house. You know, it's just
It's
all
a
about the
child,
baby. It's
though.
just all about the baby.
The baby don't
what
know
happened to
better.
baby?
Yeah, but you can't forget about Daddy.
Exactly.
Forgot
What's the
about
baby
Daddy.
gonna do? You an adult.
See, forget about it. See what I'm talking about?
It's a child.
Cannot forget about Dad. And once that's a baby. That baby sleep 8 hours a day.
No, still gotta feed the baby. I gotta make sure the baby's clothes and everything. There's a lot of work to put into taking care of a kid.
There really
You an
is.
adult, so you know how to take care of
I'm
yourself.
helping. She's not doing nothing by herself. I am also helping. So once I always give her a break, so I can get some daddy time, some us time, get that back. You know, it was great at first, but it just
You say at first, how long were y'all together?
6 years.
That's a long time to be together.
Yeah. But
Okay.
then the baby just popped up and I'm like, you know, she forgot about me. And so I try to, you know, let me take care of the baby. Let me let you rest so you can start back paying attention to me.
All right.
And that don't seem
Do y'all
like-
still live together?
That don't, no. That don't seem
Not anymore.
All right.
Not anymore.
Okay, how old is the child now? I'm assuming it's not a baby anymore.
The child's about 6.
6, okay.
Yeah, had him right off. Right, kind of early.
Okay.
Mr. McIntosh explains that after their child was born, he felt forgotten and neglected. His complaints focus on how their relationship shifted, with the mother prioritizing the child. He insists that his efforts to support her went unnoticed, but his statements start to come off as self-centered, missing the bigger picture of parenthood.
I think that kind of threw it off a little bit by us having a kid so early, and it should have waited a little while. But hey, baby wanted to come, so baby's here now. So
So the baby wanted to come.
the baby wanted to be here, so. Like I said, I help out to try to give her a break or something. Maybe bring up some wine and cook for her every night. I don't but it don't seem to, it's just like, I guess you're going to do that after, I don't know what you call it, after the baby's here, that's some kind of phase you go through.
Okay.
Where you're not paying attention to daddy.
Postpartum.
Yeah, what you said.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's serious. Postpartum is a serious thing to go through. So of
It
course
is.
it's going to be a
Now,
disconnect.
not for 5 years.
How you gonna tell a woman that postpartum is something that's terrible to go through? How you never been through it? So how do you know?
Yeah, I'm waiting on that explanation too.
Please tell
Well,
me.
I don't know. I don't know. But all I know is I help out to try to, help out with the baby to try to understand what you're going through. That's why
It's
I try. That's why I
mental
take.
issues.
That's why I
Can
try
Can
to
we
take.
stop referring to this 6-year-old as a baby?
That's
It's my
I try
child.
to take care of our child.
But you need to be able to tend to me and the child and try to understand where I'm coming from, because depression is a mental thing. You know, there's medication. Some people have suicidal thoughts. You don't even know you never even tried to ask me what I was going through or how I even felt.
She makes a good point.
Okay, I'll
So
take that.
it takes a lot. It takes a lot for you to understand where I'm coming from. You can't just assume, okay, I'm not just trying to tend to you. I have to tend to my mental health and my child. That takes a lot of work.
But I can't read your mind. I don't know.
But you never tried to even talk to her, try to understand me from that point.
The mother shares her side, revealing she's been battling postpartum depression while juggling full-time caregiving responsibilities. She highlights the mental and physical toll it takes to raise a child, emphasizing that Mr. McIntosh hasn't been a consistent presence or support system despite his claims.
Did the two of you come here to waste my time?
I mean, he's the one that called it in here. I'm just here. I mean, he obviously wanted me to do something.
Obviously, and I'm just trying to get to what
He's
that
wasting
something
both of our
is.
times.
I want full custody and I want child support.
Okay.
don't get full
The
custody,
child
but
live
I'm
with
taking
you?
care of the kid.
It's kind of between right about now. But I think I could take care of him better since she can't keep a
I've
job.
been with the kid longer, so I mean, I'm not working right now, so I'm at home with the kid all the time.
So if she's not working, she behind bars.
Wait a minute. Behind bar.
Yeah,
wait a minute. Mr.
have a reason for
McIntosh,
that.
let me move over here to her so I can
okay.
hear her side of the story. What is this behind bars?
Well, because of how he's been feeling, he's been feeling neglected because I was having issues with depression and taking care of my kids. So he decided to step out. So, you know, me and my girl did some digging and I found out he stepped out on me. So you know what? I had to find out where the girl went, where she worked at.
So you went and found
I
his
sure
new
did. I
girlfriend?
worked her butt.
He
I
did not
sure
have to
did.
jump on her.
While she was at
I
work?
did. Because he's not
Ooh.
about to play me after all this stuff I've been doing with his kid. He's not about to do that.
That's a little ratchet.
Yeah,
No
so
reason.
I did. I did.
There was no reason.
There's nothing
That
else
was
I can
uncalled
do.
for.
I did it.
So you have a case pending on you?
I do. Unfortunately, I do.
The mother admits to an assault charge after discovering Mr. McIntosh's infidelity. Frustrated and feeling betrayed, she confronted the other woman, leading to legal trouble. Despite this, she remains the primary caregiver for their child, while Mr. McIntosh's focus seems to be more on his music career than parenting.
But you don't cheat on me after all this work I've been putting in taking care of your child. You gonna cheat on me? No, it's not gonna fly.
Oh.
Well, what happened to the depression? What happened to all that? You
It's in there. That's one of the side
You gonna
effects.
fight my new girlfriend.
That's one of the
Where's
side
the
effects.
baby while you
though.
fighting?
That's one of the side effects.
That's a great question.
Yeah,
What
you
was the
fighting
baby
with the
while
baby.
you were fighting?
Because I'm upset. I'm mad, and then you're not even
And y'all
trying
have
to
me
make
saying,
me
baby,
feel
what
better.
was the
What
child
was the
while you
child
were
while you were
fighting?
fighting my girlfriend?
Oh, that was taken care of. My sister was watching the
Your
kid.
sister?
She was.
Was she in jail with you?
No, she was watching the kid, and she bailed me out.
Oh.
She was there for me. You
Her
weren't.
sister bailed her out.
You were there.
Her
She was there
sister
for
was
me.
there.
So I
for
guess
her,
you talk
you
to your
weren't.
sister. You won't talk to me.
Because you don't
talk
even
to your
try
sister,
to.
but you can't talk to
You don't
me.
even try. I tried to talk to you.
It seems like you guys can't really talk to each other without getting
Obviously
into
not,
it.
because you don't even try to listen to
I'll
me.
go back to
No.
my original
Yeah.
question. So who does the child stay with majority of the
Me.
time?
He stays with me, Your Honor.
Okay, so you said that the baby was better off with you because she has a assault case.
She got a assault case.
But she didn't
can't
do it in
keep a
front of
job.
the-
She can't keep a job.
How
Okay,
can I
what do
keep
you
a
do
job
for a
when I'm taking care of
living?
the kids?
I'm in the entertainment business.
What does that mean?
I produce.
Yeah, he
What are you
producing, all right.
producing?
I got several artists I'm trying to produce right now in the music business. So
Oh, okay.
Yeah, late night.
Okay.
Producing.
Have they already produced some music?
that's kind of iffy right now, but I think they're gonna be okay.
And what kind of money are you making?
I'm making about 85,000.
Okay. All right, and you said you're unemployed right now.
Yes, ma'am.
What happened to your job?
I had to quit because I was taking care of the kid full time.
Okay. So the child lives with her.
Stays with me.
Okay. Why didn't you file anything for today for child support?
I wasn't thinking, Your Honor. I didn't want to be malicious towards him or anything, so I didn't feel a need I had to. So that's just where I stand on that.
Okay. Is your sister also helping you with that criminal case?
She is.
Okay.
And she also helps me watch the kid if I'm needing to do anything, like any grocery shopping or anything. She helps me.
All right. So where does dad come in?
I mean, he's rarely around. I mean, he's doing his little producing thing and stuff and meeting up with late women and stuff. You know, that's why I had this little charge. So, I mean, that's what he's doing.
It's a little charge.
I mean, it's an assault charge, but I mean, it is what it is at this point. It already happened, so.
Okay, I do agree with that. Well, sir, I'm not going to grant your request for child support today.
I am not manipulating women. I got one girlfriend and you jumped on her.
You are. No, there's
You tell the
plenty
judge
more.
about your sister,
It's
she going back
plenty
to jail.
more. It's plenty more.
Oh,
you
okay.
know?
Well, guess what? I don't have time to hear about all of these little rendezvous today. I have other things to do, and you obviously came here to waste my time. So I'm going to deny your relief, like I said, and dismiss your case because it's obvious that the child stays with mom primarily. You didn't dispute it when she said it. Therefore, I don't have a choice but to dismiss it. And mom, on the other hand, if she comes back in here and says she wants child support, because had she filed something today, you would actually be placed on child support today.
Judge Vondab dismisses Mr. McIntosh's request for child support, stating that the child lives primarily with the mother, making his claim invalid. She also warns Mr. McIntosh that if the mother files for child support in the future, he'll likely end up paying due to his $80,000 annual income.
Me?
But at that $80,000 to $85,000 range, because the child lives with her. She's telling the truth, isn't she?
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm pretty sure she's telling the truth about the other stuff too. But
No,
that's none of my business.
No.
So, is there anything further today, Mr. McIntosh?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Is there anything further, ma'am?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, well, if there's nothing further, you all are dismissed.
This case teaches a valuable lesson. Child support is based on caregiving, not personal grievances. The mother may have her challenges, but the facts show she's been the primary caregiver. Mr. McIntosh's attempt to shift blame backfired, leaving him with no legal ground to stand on. Here we go with another child support court case, this time featuring a mom who wants off child support.
Yes, Your Honor. I came here to request to be taken off child support.
All right.
My child is almost 18 right now. I'm still sending cash apps, still taking care of my child, so I'm just confused on how the child is about to be 18. He's in the house with his new fiance, two-parent home right now, well, 2 incomes, and I feel like I just need to be taken off.
All right, so you came to court to ask to be taken off child support because he has a 2-parent income?
And because I do take care of my child.
All right, so what's the legal basis that you're asking to be removed from child support?
What am I paying child support for when I can take care of my own child? My child is just currently living with him because I'm on the road due to my business and entertainment and stuff like that. But as far as cash apps and financial responsibility, I do that without him. My child is almost 18, so I don't feel like I need to go through him for everything.
Okay, I understand. And you say he's almost 18, so he's 17.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. What grade is he in?
He's a senior, 12th.
He's 17, but he's a senior?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, gotcha. When does he graduate?
In May.
All right. Okay. Is there anything else you want me to know before I move over to him?
No, I just feel like he's a user and I'm taking care of him and his new fiance.
How is he a user?
He's still allowing me to pay child support for a kid that I'm providing full support for.
Right, but you understand you're under a court order to pay child support. That's not necessarily something that he's doing. That's what the court did the first time. You understand that, right?
Yes, but I just feel like he could have denied it or even spoke up and told you guys that I'm taking care of the child financially.
Why would he do that?
Because he don't need my money. I'm taking care of my own child.
Well, let's play devil's advocate a little bit. Would you have done that for him if the roles were reversed?
Yes, ma'am.
You would have opted not to put him on child support.
If he's already provided financial responsibility, exactly, I wouldn't have done that.
I don't believe that.
Okay. I don't know. I see a lot of things when I'm sitting up here, right? So I can't necessarily say you would have done it or you would not have done it, but people in your certain circumstances, I can't say that I've seen them willingly not put the guy on child support when the roles were reversed. So
She claims she's already providing everything for her child and doesn't see the need for child support. But does her story hold up?
I don't see why that even matters, that you take care of your child, the child lives with him, so you should be paying child support. You'd agree with me, right?
I mean, my child don't have to technically live with him, but you're the judge, so whatever you say.
But he does. I mean, technically, no, he doesn't, but he likes living with his dad, right?
Yes, I agree.
Okay, so you wouldn't want to unroot him from living with dad if he likes being over there. No, you agree with me?
I agree.
Okay, all right. So is it okay if I move over to him, or are you done telling me everything you want me to know?
Yes, ma'am. With just one thing. So even if I'm not taking completely off, I do feel like it do need to be decreased, especially with his age. He doesn't need childcare or anything of that nature. So I will be requesting a decrease if it can't be just thrown out the court order.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else?
No, ma'am.
All right. Okay, sir. Your son lives with you.
Yes, ma'am.
And how long has he been living with you?
Pretty much all the way up till now, pretty much.
So even as a child from the time this order was entered?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. And is it true what she's saying, she give extra outside of paying child support?
I mean, she does. I mean, it's a little bit here and there, but,
How much child support are you receiving right now?
It's roughly around, it's probably about 700.
Okay. Who carries health insurance?
I do.
All right. How much is your health insurance?
Between, let's see, it's around roughly about $350.
For your son only, or does that include the both
That's
of you?
with both of us.
Okay. All right. So if we split that in half, it's $175 a person, right? Okay. And your son is 17. He's still in high school. He graduates high school in May.
In May.
All right. What other expenses does he have? Like, is he involved in anything extracurricular?
Sports, I mean, he plays basketball, track.
Who pays for basketball?
Me.
Who pays for track?
Me as well.
Does mom help out at all with any of those extra expenses?
I mean, no, not really.
Wow.
Well, she says she's seen Cash App and such.
I mean, that's, here and there, It's here and there, it's not, yeah.
But sending extra outside of the $700, that counts for something, right?
Counts for some, yeah. I mean, but I feel like, he's with me most of the time, so I feel like, that is needed. So, I mean, that's just my opinion.
Okay. What is her visitation like with your son?
She comes with 2 or 3 times a week, sometime, or he'll stay with her 3 times a week, something like that. Yeah.
Okay. So is that pretty consistent?
Yeah, it's consistent.
All right. So consistently, I'm back over to you.
Thank you.
Consistently, what does your visitation look like?
Anytime that I'm in Dallas, I'm spending time with my child. And he also does not provide any clothing or anything of that nature for him.
He lives with him, so he has to be.
No, ma'am. I drops all that off. I'm a fashion designer and I have my own clothing line. So my child is always provided with clothes and sneakers, everything he needs for basketball, uniforms and stuff. I cover that. When he needs shoes,
He just said he pays for it.
maybe the training, but as far as his equipment and shoes and stuff, my son asks me for the money for that, and I send him the Cash App. I even have the proof. So,
Does she do that?
I'm paying for that stuff. I don't know what she's talking about.
Well, somebody not telling the truth.
ma'am, I have Cash App receipts to show that I send money for uniforms, sneakers, wristbands, anything, movies, any extra activities my son would like to take part in.
We can call him.
Well, no, we don't want to call him. He's still a child. We don't want to
Yes.
do that. But somebody is not being honest. if she's saying she's sending you money through Cash App, are you putting in the memo line like what it's for?
No, I'm sending it to my son directly.
You're sending it to the child directly. So maybe you just don't know that she's doing that.
I guess that's the case because I don't know anything about that.
What are you paying for exactly?
As far as, uniforms, his everyday, food, clothes, everything he has
She's saying she provides all the clothes.
He just buy food sometimes, and I even send Cash App for pizza and stuff like that. So I'm paying for pizza for him and his fiance and my son as well.
So you're doing more.
Exactly.
Is what you're saying. On average, with Cash App, how much would you say monthly you're sending your son?
$500 minimum. His sneakers is $200 and better, so I'm buying them 2-3 pair of sneakers a month. Actually, it's probably about $600 a month, ma'am, that I'm sending additional to the child support order.
Okay. And health insurance, is Dad only covering that? That's not anything that you're covering?
No, ma'am.
All right. Under your court order, were you ordered to reimburse him for health insurance?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And sir, do you have other children that reside in the home?
Yeah, I have 2 others.
Okay, do you have any other children?
No, ma'am.
Here's the deal.
The judge is already pointing out the obvious. This isn't just about what mom wants. It's about legal obligations. She insists she's doing more than enough. But is this about the child or her frustration with her ex? Dad feels justified keeping the support order, but is he overlooking what she's contributing? This is where things get murky. Are they even communicating about the child's needs? Or just competing? In the end, the judge sides with the mom, acknowledging her contributions, but keeps her on support until graduation.
Legally, you cannot come off of child support just yet. Reason being is that a child that is the rule is you pay child support for a child up until they turn the age of 18 or until they graduate high school, whichever one happens later. Your son is 17, he's still in high school. He doesn't graduate for another few months. So you will be on child support still until he graduates high school. Do you understand that? That's what the law says, all right? Now, what I do think is very telling is that she is paying more. According to what she said, and you didn't refute it, she is paying more than the $700 that she's giving you monthly. So if all of that is assuming that is true, because you didn't say whether or not it was true or not, I think she should get somewhat of a break on the child support, the monthly obligation, at least. Health insurance was never ordered for you to reimburse it to him. So what I'll do is just keep it like it is, where you just keep maintaining the health insurance, and you didn't file anything to request that anyway, and you didn't file anything requesting any adjustments to the health insurance. So what we'll do is just decrease your child support to $450, because according to your testimony, you're sending roughly about $500 anyway.
Yes, ma'am.
On Cash App. So we'll just reduce your child support obligation to $450, and you'll have to pay that through graduation, which is another, 6 months or so?
Yes,
something
ma'am.
like that. I think that's fair. I think that's what's in your son's best interest. According to her, she's doing a lot, and she's giving it directly to your son. And unless you have something in writing that can refute that, then I have to assume what she's saying is true.
I have no clue about the Cash App thing. There was no conversation. I don't check his Cash App like that.
Well, I would hope you wouldn't have a conversation with your son about that, because it's really kind of inappropriate, for you all to discuss that. But if he's still enrolled in those activities and those activities are still taking place, there has to be some validity to what she's saying if you know that you're not covering that extra. So that's what it'll be. Your child support will be reduced to $450.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
I'm tired of taking care of his other kids as well.
Huh?
I'm tired of taking care of his whole household.
You
his
don't
family.
know what, now see, you were starting on a good track. Don't come in here and backslide, okay?
All right, yes,
You do
ma'am.
not know what go on in his house, and quite frankly, it is none of your business. So is there anything further that you have that pertains to your business?
No, ma'am, that's it. That's it.
Okay, do you have anything further?
I'm just ready for this to be over so I can live happy ever after with my wife and
Well,
my kids.
go ahead and live happy ever after, because you all are dismissed.
And there it is. Just when you think it's over, she takes one last shot at Dad. With that, another family drama wraps up in court. But what do you think? Was the judge's decision fair? The plaintiff's attorney, Ms. McNiff, begins by explaining the motion. She argues that the original agreement of splitting childcare costs 50-50 is no longer feasible due to changes in her client's circumstances. She highlights that her client has remarried, taken a new job with less pay, and faced challenges managing childcare and medical emergencies for the children. Ms. McNiff is requesting the court to apply the Michigan child care formula to reassign the financial responsibilities.
Right now, the parties are required to each pay 50% of any child care expenses. That was an agreement that they reached in their original judgment of divorce. We're simply asking that the child support provision not be 50-50, that it be pursuant to the appropriate Michigan child care formulation.
Calling case 2022-2134 Aaron Gentry versus Peter Gentry. Today is Monday, July 22nd, 2024 at 9:50 a.m.
Court will note the appearance of Ms. McNiff on behalf of plaintiff, Ms. Thomas on behalf of defendant. This matter is before the court on the plaintiff's motion to modify support with regard to child care expense. Ms. McNiff.
Your Honor, I would just note for the record that my client is recently remarried and her new last name is Tinsman. This is really a pretty simple motion. Right now, the parties are required to each pay 50% of any child care expenses. That was an agreement that they reached in their original judgment of divorce. Since that agreement was reached, my client is on has a different job. She's remarried. She has a baby. She had to leave her previous job, which still had her making significantly less money than Mr. Gentry, as a result of there not being sufficient PTO, sufficient sick time. She, at one point, was taking care of the children when they had COVID during Mr. Gentry's parenting time. The kids have had some significant medical issues, some like tube surgery, things like that she's had to take time off for, and she simply couldn't do it with the previous job. So she took a remote job so that she could meet those obligations. We've also been in court a lot, which was a difficulty for her and with her previous job. So we're simply asking that the child support provision not be 50-50, that it be pursuant to the appropriate Michigan child care formulation that would assign the parties percentages. We do have this matter currently in front of referee Snyder on a change of domicile request, change of custody, change of parenting time. However, this particular part of the child support formula was not at issue, and I think in order to get it there, either the court needs to rule on it or send it to referee Snyder.
Now, the defendant's attorney, Ms. Thomas, responds with a firm rebuttal. She points out that the 50-50 agreement was a negotiated settlement in the original divorce judgment, and any modifications would undermine the parties' prior agreement. She also accuses the plaintiff of creating unnecessary motions, costing Mr. Gentry more money in legal fees.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Thomas, any response?
I do, Your Honor. I don't think it's as simple as what Ms. McNiff purports it to be. Our answer to the plaintiff's motion certainly sets forth the defendant's position regarding the 50-50 child care. However, I would add that to clarify, I just want to clarify a couple of things. First, at the time of filing our answer, this motion hearing was scheduled for last week. So we had said there was 9 days before we'd be in front of court again. We're actually in front of Mr. Snyder again on Wednesday of this week. And so there's no reason that this motion couldn't have been brought at that hearing. This is just an extra motion for no particularly good reason other than it cost Mr. Gentry a lot of money. But more to the point, the parties negotiated. And they reached, it was by the judgment of divorce was entered by consent. And part of their negotiation was that because Mr. Gentry for a while was working at home, because that was part of what his job was doing. That's not the case anymore. And there was some variables, but the parties agreed that it should be 50-50, and that's what they agreed to that. And that's part of the other issues in the case settled because of that. So therefore, that was a negotiated agreement, and it wasn't part of it. And if you look at the Uniform Child Support Order, although it's purported that it's in there, it's not in there. And if you look at the formula that's attached, the calculations attached, it's not on there. It does not say that at all, because the parties had agreed that it was going to be 50-50. If it was summer, if it was before and after school, whatever it was going to be, it was going to be 50-50, because that was part of the settlement that they reached based upon all the totality of the circumstances of their particular case. For clarification, in plaintiff's motion regarding change of domicile, she specifically requested relief as it relates to childcare in this matter. And Mr. Snyder has in fact heard testimony as it relates to the issue of childcare. In plaintiff's motion regarding change of domicile legal residence, although she indicates that she's also asked for custody and parenting time, in her motion, that's not true. In her motion, she acknowledged childcare expenses for the children under the age of 12 are to be paid 50-50, and specifically requested reimbursement regarding questionable childcare expenses. So this issue of childcare between these parties is already in front of Mr. Snyder, and he's already heard testimony. So to have another motion that we can again prepare for another motion, another thing, is ridiculous. And also, frankly, one of the many reasons that Ms. Gentry used to persuade this court that she should be allowed to take the kids with her to her new boyfriend, now husband's home in West Virginia, was that she was offered a job less than 5 minutes away from her then boyfriend's home. And it was at a State Farm agency, and it was contingent upon her being able to move there. And then she quit her job at State Farm here. And that was all as a furtherance of her career. That was one of the big things that the reason that she, was going to do this. And now she quit her job. She worked at another job. She worked full time. She said she was going to only work part time. There's been like, it was this and it's this and this. And it's like, and the testimony and the actions don't match. And she was going to have, and specifically, I believe that she said that plaintiff alleged in her motion that her fiance is, quote, supportive of a part-time work arrangement for her. His career is stable and he is well compensated, which will enable a more relaxed professional schedule for me. Yet she quit her regular job. She took a full-time independent contractor job, if you will, with no benefits. And then now and because of this financial affordability, because of her fiance's and now husband's income. And now here we are, we'd already agreed on this. This is something that they negotiated before Lisa was involved, before Ms. McNiff was involved, before I was involved. And now here we are saying, oh, well, wait a minute, that's not affordable now. I mean, I think she needs to use her new financial windfall and she needs to suck it up. That was their agreement. This is, again, 1/2 share of childcare expenses is what they agreed to. And it's not included in the Uniform Child Support Order. This issue with regard to who's going to pay what for last summer is before referee Snyder. So this issue was already in front of him. And this is, again, another motion that the plaintiff has brought that we have to prepare for, get ready for. And we're just asking that the court uphold the current order of the court, the judgment of divorce, which is the court order by consent of the parties. Although Ms. Gentry indicated that she has paid her 50% of childcare, she has not. She's not paid anything this summer at all. And now we have attorney fees in addition. And it's the same subject matter that's already before Mr. Snyder, that he's already taken testimony as to these issues, in fact.
Yeah, I don't have to have that read. I've heard that probably 3 times already, Ms. Thomas. What I'm going to do in this matter is, obviously, the judgment of divorce provides for 50-50 in child care costs. It was by the consent of the parties. The court has not heard any reason why the court should invade and modify a judgment that was entered into by agreement of the parties, consideration of all the issues. The court is going to deny the motion Ms. Thomas, you can prepare that order and submit under 7-day.
Your Honor, will the court consider our request for attorney fees?
I'm not going to at this time.
Okay.
Ms. Thomas raises concerns about the plaintiff's job history, stating that she made decisions to quit stable jobs and accept positions that don't align with the financial agreements made during the divorce. She emphasizes that the court has already addressed child care-related testimony in a separate hearing with referee Snyder, making this motion redundant. In his ruling, the judge denies the motion to modify child care expenses. He reiterates that the 50-50 agreement was part of the original judgment by consent and finds no compelling reason to alter it. He also denies the defendant's request for attorney fees at this time. This case highlights how complicated post-divorce financial disputes can become, especially when one party feels the original agreement no longer works for them. What do you think about the court's decision? Was justice served, or should the agreement have been modified? Let us know in the comments below.